Hello and welcome back to another episode of Canadian Stacking. Today I'd like to talk to you guys about, well, I said about a month ago that the price of silver was going to drop, and it has indeed been dropping. We went from around 35 Canadian down to about 31. I think we actually touched 30.90 briefly. Now, do I see the bottom being in? I see us maybe going a little bit lower yet. It all depends on that Federal Reserve and what they're going to do, because they're a sneaky bunch. But I have a hankering suspicion that they're going to drive interest rates another like 0.25 higher. I don't think they're going to pause. And the reason for this is, well, what's going on in Europe. And higher interest rates really hurt other countries more than the United States. And when the United States wants people to comply, they bring the pain. And even if that means bringing the pain to themselves a little bit. So, do I see a pause? No. Do I see a hike? Probably a 0.25. It all depends on that sneaky jobs report that's going to come out the day before. If it's a bad jobs report, I could see maybe a pause. Like, watch your news feed for that and see what happens with the jobs report. I think, like all the other jobs reports, though, we're probably going to hear maybe a fakeish number. You know, I don't see us seeing anything like realistic. But, you know, if we get that rate hike, the dollar is going to strengthen. Any country denominated in U.S. currency or that backs their currency with U.S. denominated dollars, like Canada and, you know, any other European allied nations that use USD as a backing to their dollar, they'll probably get a good pullback on silver. What do I mean by good? Well, if you go back and you look at the Fed rate hiking cycle, generally we get a hike, silver and gold come down a little bit. So if that happens, we'll see it come down a little bit. But I think this is going to be the last hike. I think we're done after this. And if it happens, I do see slowly gold and silver starting to creep up from you know, what happens. And now June 15th. If there's a hike, there'll probably be a pullback. Will it last a couple of days, maybe a week, probably? But then the prices will hold. There is a floor. You know, there is a floor. I see the floor around no lower than 30 Canadian an ounce. I see that the bullion dealers are having less volume. How can you figure that out? Well, I go to a couple of them and I type in the maximum number on certain products they carry, like Canadian maples, or if they're carrying sunshine rounds, and I'll type in some ludicrous unattainable number like 1 million, and it'll come up and it'll tell you the actual numbers they have in supply. And if you see the numbers ticking up, it means they're not selling as fast as they were. So that's a sneaky little tip for you guys if you want to figure out, you know, am I going to see spot price drop? Well, when you do that, you can actually kind of get a little idea that spot price might be dropping in the future. My dealer, Sol, has seen a pullback for sure. A couple of the other companies I deal with, I phoned, and they've seen some volume drop. And by volume drop, I mean we're down from, you know, 1 year of silver being sold in a month. 1 year of silver in a month, that was March, to 6 months of silver being sold in April, to 2 months of silver being sold in May. So yeah, it's still a little higher than the usual May volume, but we've come down from ludicrous speed. And if the Fed tightens, I see it coming down even more. If we see some bank stability, which isn't really bank stability, but if we see some BS stuff where the banking fallout slows, yeah, we're going to see a bunch of people start, you know, dollar cost averaging into a stock market, which I think is primed to drive down. So don't be one of those people. This is not, of course, financial advice, because financial advice is illegal, and I can't give it because I'm not a certified person. But I can say this is my personal opinion and my personal thoughts, and you know, you should strongly do your own due diligence and check into it. So I'm going to pause this and step down off my perch. This rapid is amazing. It's at the highest water level of the season. Once again, this is Lower Ostrom. This big gnarly wave right there, that there tends to flip boats if you're not right here in the middle on the seam. There's another one down just a little bit further, and it's the same thing. And that other one that people tend to flip on is right up here, but it's starting to slow down and, you know, go out. But I wanted to show you guys again a little bit of the rapids. They're quite amazing. The sneak lines right here on River Left. All the less experienced kayakers, they tend to go down the side, or rafts that are a little less enthusiastic. But there is one little sneaky thing that most people don't know about this rock here, Sneak Rock. It tends to just stop everything that hits it dead at this water level. So like I said, I'm going to pause, I'm going to step down, and we'll keep recording somewhere else.